Yes, this is my Rohm RG Model 14 and 22 long rifle. The whole thing has been Cerakoted or degreased, sandblasted, and Cerakoted in tungsten. Not new grips, but new grips to this pistol. I had to get replacements because the originals were cracked. I have not shined these up or polished them whatsoever. If you look, there'll be obviously little small imperfections in the original finish, whether or not it's very small dents, scratches, etc. But it's an older firearm. Up close, you could see some nicks in the finish as well. I don't think it was cast steel. However, and definitely had some scratches when it came in. I finished this because originally I attempted to polish it. However, I could only take it so far. From an angle on this side of the receiver, you'll see some numbers kind of etched in. Originally, I thought this was some sort of importation mark because Rohm is made in Germany. However, this particular time in which this one was made, it was made in Miami, Florida, when the government quit actually allowing importation of these for a little bit. But I've done the whole trigger assembly, the hammer, all the internals with exception of the main spring, the cylinder lock itself, and the other springs, because I didn't want to heat treat them when you go to bake the Cerakote. But the pins, the cylinders, everything has been done. If it doesn't go too fast here, you'll see single action works. Cycles through each individual one. Same thing, spins nice and easy. Or sorry, double action works, single action works as well. Hammer back. You can tell the timing is pretty tight considering on how this is a cheaper revolver. Nice and crisp. Same thing. All within the restrictions. We go to open it up. That one pretty detailed. The crane, all of it. See a slight sheen on this. Just from naturally Cerakote is going to get little friction wear areas. But all been Cerakote in that color. If I don't get too close, it won't get yellow on you here. Very clean. Opens up. Did the inside of all the ports. As you can see, nice and clean. I don't bother polishing out the inside of the cylinder lock because I don't slap any of my cylinders shut. However, if you do want to polish, it's too easy to take it out and polish. Over time, Cerakote, it's not, if it's sprayed correctly, it'll almost feel like silk, but regardless with any finish, it's going to feel a little bit gritty. What I've learned in time, it's good, if anything, put a little polishing compound in there and just leave it alone. Over time, it'll polish itself out. As of right now, it's pretty dang smooth for not having any polishing all the way. Try to work Cerakote as well into all the threadings. Still need to clean the barrel. Not a big deal. That'll go before it's out. All the pins, individual screws. Oh, yeah, and function to the same thing. Cylinder lock. Inside of everything, very clean. Put the pin back in, and I'll work a little bit here. No binding in the screw whatsoever. My application, I try to stay within 1 to 2 mil of spring. You just see it's a firing pin. You do have your safety bar. You decide to carry loaded. So obviously you could bump it forward if you want to, but it doesn't rest right on the firing pin itself. Same thing, all the internals worked over. A little, it's clean. Equivalent looking in the video now opposed to in person, it's a little bit lighter, but I'd say it's very on par with like a tungsten off-colored steel color. I'm very happy with it. Not too bright, not too dark. And again, all the individual pins have been done. On the top of the receiver here. Yep. Very clean. One last thing, it was a little bit rough in the casting here. I try to never overspray when I'm Cerakoting. It almost gives you a sandpaper-like feeling. The casting on the inner part of this trigger guard was slightly rough, and I just left it the way it is. For one, after sandblasting, it really helps the Cerakoted here to begin with, so I couldn't really justify polishing it out. But the rest of it, very clean, no feeling or anything to believe that there's an issue with overspray. And get this barrel cleaned up and ready.